incredible spectacle, the new version. The athletes will tell you that there is just something special on the ground and in the air here. As we take you to the first heat of the men's 1500, and here is Colin Sahlman.
He's only 20 years old, Lee, and he has already run the second fastest 1500-meter time in the history of the NCAA, surpassing the mark that Yared Nuguse ran as an American. So he's incredibly talented, huge future ahead of this kid.
How about the 24-year-old Californian Cooper Teare? He's one to watch in this.
And Cooper Teare has had so much happen in the last few years. You know, he got 4th at the Olympic trials in the 5,000 in 2021. Since then, he won the U.S. championship in this event in 2022. Suffered a lot of injuries, left his training group to go back with his college coach and train alongside his collegiate teammate, Hawker. And it's incredible this year. He has a lot more confidence. He seems good. He won the cross-country championship. He's just been racing all sorts of different distances and doing really well.
You see Craig Engels on the outside there. Craig is in this. Johnny Gregorek, Josh Thompson. Heat 1 of the men's 1500, but sadly, somebody who is not in this field is the 3-time Olympian, the Rio gold medalist, and Team USA hero Matthew Centrowitz. Centro was forced to withdraw earlier today. He's heartbroken, his fan base is, and it's the Paris dream is not to be.
You know, and he knew this, he had announced this would be his last season, but everyone wanted to see him run one more time, come to Hayward Field. You know, he ran here at the University of Oregon. He is an Olympic champion, and it's just too bad that he couldn't go out the way he wanted, running in front of his fans.
He was sick a little bit earlier this year at the LAGP, and then he had a hamstring injury and he just couldn't recover. So Centro, we're thinking of you, and I know you'll be watching this with a lot of interest as Cooper Teare leads the way. Then it's Walid Suleiman. And then Craig Engels tucks into 3rd nice and early in this first heat of the men's 1500. There's Engels, number 12.
Suleiman there in 2nd place. He was 3rd at the NCAA championships back in 2021, where Cole Hawker won and Yared Nuguse was 2nd. So he's extremely good, kind of rounding into his own now. They're out at 58.8 for the first quarter. So they're moving, and Cooper Teare is happy to take this and string it out. He doesn't want to leave anything to chance. The top 7 will go through, and I think once we see some separation, they might put on the, you know, the brakes a little bit. But right now, everyone's a contender.
In the blue and white, that's Colin Sahlman, the 20-year-old. In the middle of this shot, Cara detailed how good he is at such a young age. Cooper Teare leads the way. There's Johnny Gregorek, the veteran, hit number 2, closest to us. Can he be in the mix? Top 7 in each heat will go through, and then there's 3 will qualify on their times. Gregorek starts to make a move.
He does. He's starting to move up on the outside. We've seen Gregorek on a couple of different World Championships teams, but hasn't made an Olympic team. His father is an Olympian, but we see him now moving up and around alongside Craig Engels there.
Also making a move is Casey Comer. He was 2nd at last year's mile championships, road mile championships, behind Sam Prakel. So he's nicely in the mix as well. Walid Suleiman leads the way. Here comes Johnny Gregorek. Teare drops back. Craig Engels now in 5th.
You know, this first round of the 1500 is a lot of nerves getting out, Lee. They know they have another round before this, before the final. So a lot of this is just feeling it out, getting a feel for the track. How does it feel? How's my body responding to it? And a lot of these men, they just want to get through this easy, but they almost sometimes like this round because it gets everything going. And we're at the bell now.
So 1 to go in this first heat, and here they come. Here come all of the challengers. Gary Martin starting to make a move. So too is Jack Salisbury. They all know they want to be in the top 7. They don't have to rely on time.
And look at Cooper Teare. He is boxed in right now. He has nowhere to move. He's in 5th position, but there are people coming along the side of him, and he is boxed in right now. He's going to need to look for a little daylight to make some room for himself.
Sahlman on the outside. Teare is dropping back. Craig Engels trying to push his way through. Look at the pace come up now. Here comes Bove right on the rail. And Comer on the outside. Walid Suleiman leads the way, but look at this group. You pick it. It could be anybody. 7 automatically go through. I think there was a trip there. Suleiman on the inside. Wow. They'll need to rely on timing to pick that 7. to go through to the semi-finals on Saturday night. That was a wild finish. And look at that. Even Casey Comer saying, was I one of those? I was in the mix, wasn't I? Did I get it?
This is an incredible pack, and this is what happens sometimes in those early rounds. Everyone believes they can kick off of a slower effort, and so then you come down to the final 100, and everyone is still there. Sulaiman got tripped there, but he stays on his feet and keeps his momentum moving forward. He got tripped by Thompson. They got tangled a little bit, but look at how wide they are all the way out in lane 5.
That was like a three-way photo finish for sure. That was great. Craig Engels, he's like, yeah, that felt pretty good. And Craig, he's a fan favorite, and he said you won night 1 of competition in this US Olympic track and field team trials, and there's one of the best men's 1500-meter runners in the world. He's got this very relaxed, casual disposition and demeanor, but boy, does he run fast. That's Yared Nuguse.
Yared Nuguse made the Olympic team in 2021, but had to withdraw with a quad injury. In 2022, is building himself back up. Last year at his first global championships, he finished 5th. He's been on fire, setting records left and right. We expect him to get into the final at the Olympic Games and do well. We see he is wearing a heart rate monitor right now, 130 at the start, which means he's calm, he's collected. He knows he's just here to get the job done for the day.
All right, another great young talent is Hobbs Kessler.
Hobbs Kessler has done everything right this year to be ready to make this team. He ran indoors so that he could become a better tactician. Indoor track is smaller, positioning matters so much more. He even came away with a bronze medal at the World Championships. He's done everything he can do to set himself up to be ready to compete through these rounds.
Also expect this guy to be in the mix. That's Joe Wascom.
Two-time NCAA champion out of Washington, obviously now is with Adidas. Just an incredible tactician. Watch him find his way through the field. He likes to sit at the back, but when it comes to the kicking, he finds his way through.
Henry Wynn, keep an eye on him as well. The runner out of Westport, Connecticut. Knevel Bard. Brennan Kidder. Renawicki. John's in this one as well. Second heat of the men's 1500. Here we go. Will we get a finish like we saw in the first? That was wild.
You know, I don't know. We see Yared Nuguse sitting in the back a little bit now. He said he's working on being more aggressive in races this year. Last year he was a little bit passive, definitely passive. Ooh, he stumbled a little there. He was definitely passive at the World Championships and spent a few laps getting back up to the front and just didn't have it in that final stretch. So he's really learning to be a little bit more aggressive in racing. But remember, in this particular round, he is going to get through as easy as possible. He definitely is the fastest in the field. He has the best kick, so he's going to sit back a little bit and conserve energy.
There's a bit of repositioning and jostling there. You see him, number 6, AJ Ernst out of Massachusetts, all in black there. AJ had to make and take evasive action. There's Yared Nuguse. Settling in on this opening lap, just feeling and reading the pace. And don't mistake that relaxed look for a lack of speed.
Absolutely not. He's one of the fastest men in the world this year. A lot of hopes for him to go to Paris and bring home some hardware. But he's really learned how to get out aggressively. He ran the World Indoor Championships this year. He raced against Josh Kerr, the reigning world champion in the 1500. They both raced the 3000. Josh Kerr won, but he was a very close second. Again, he was a little passive in the race and closing at the end. So that's one thing he's really, really focusing on this year, is not being quite so passive in the beginning of races so that when the kicking begins, he's there.
Look at that speed. 14.5 miles an hour. You can think about that, what you do on the treadmill at home. What's your pace? And then think about what these guys are doing here, trying to make the, first of all, the final for Saturday, semi-final on Saturday evening, then the final, and try and get a ticket to Paris as Yared Nuguse takes the lead.
And look how big and long his stride is. He just went straight to the front. It was so easy for him to do so. I think this is good for Hobbs Kessler. He doesn't have to lead anymore, and he can sort of just key off of Nuguse. Nuguse knows what to do to get through in this round, and I think this is good for Kessler now. He can just follow Nuguse.
There's John Renawicki there on the outside. He's got hip number 12. trying to make his first Olympic team as well.
Make sure you look at Joe Wascom there, right on the inside there, hip number 9. He has an excellent finish. He just can see openings open up. 2-time NCAA champion in this event, winning just 2 weeks ago.
Ethan Strand, the 21-year-old out of Alabama, all in white there. He's well positioned as we head into the bell lap.
And Lee, look how effortless this looks for Nuguse. He's just out there loping along. This is easy for him. He's going to look around now. Now watch, he feels people come up on him, and what does he do? He injects a little pace because he has so much more to give.
Elliot Cook is in the mix too. He's right on the inside, all in green. Top 7 go through. Here comes Henry Wynn around the outside in orange. They know they don't want to rely on their time. Yared Nuguse and Hobbs Kessler, they set the pace. And then Cook on the inside. Here's Henry Wynn on the outside. Who's going to be in that top 7? Renawicki's trying to force his way in there. Hobbs Kessler will take it to the line over Nuguse for heat 2 of the men's 1500. That pace just intensified on that final lap dramatically.
Nuguse is happy. He got the job done. He always says he wants to have fun. So we see here now, it was still pretty packed tightly, and you see men starting to move out, really trying to look for room to go. And Nuguse is just comfortable. He's trying to keep Hobbs Kessler on his outside a little bit. We see Kessler looking around. He sees how many people are there. He made a little bit of a mistake indoors and giving too much room. And so he decided he was going to power through here and make sure that he was ahead. So he didn't have to wait and see any sort of photo finish. A great race out of Hobbs Kessler. Great race out of Yared Nuguse.
Good run too for the man all in blue there, Vincent Ciatti, who got his way through convincingly in the top 7. In fact, in 3rd place, just ahead of Henry Wynn and Elliot Cook. Here you go. There's the top 7 with Joe Wascom and Ethan Strand. But time now to hear from the Goose. Here's Yared.
All right, Yared, you had so many epic battles with some of the world's best right here on this track, but before you can meet them again in Paris, you've got to deal with these trials. Take me through your first round and your thoughts on how you did.
Yeah, I think everyone wants the first round to be like, pretty chill, but it's not going to be easy. So I think I was just trying to make sure that, at the end of the day, I was ready for the next one tomorrow, but not giving anything out there and letting a whole crowd pass me by surprise. So right. I think I did a good job just, keeping it off and then getting on to the next round.
From the inside, tactically, what do you be working on as the rounds continue?
I think a big part is just moving when you want to, reacting instead of reacting. I think that'll help you kind of really make sure that you get the, the top whatever spot you need to get on to the next one.
Right. All right, we'll see you in the next round.
Yeah, of course.
Thanks. All right, Paul Swangard, over to you.
Thanks, Lewis. Just at the tail end of that race, Heath Baldwin gathered the attention.
This place here sent him to his first Olympics. It's Cole Hocker.
Cole Hocker is tired of hearing about Yared Nuguse. He says, I'm just as good. I beat him in the NCAA. I won the Olympic trials last time. He has struggled with injuries the last couple years and still come out and done really well. This year, he's finally healthy and running amazing. This could be his year.
All right, you want to cheer for an underdog? This is the 29-year-old New Yorker, Eric Holt. He is an unsponsored runner, somewhat of a journeyman, but this guy is determination personified.
Absolutely. He's one of the hardest workers in the game. His coach, the team he got invited to, Empire Elite, they saw his workouts on Strava and invited him to come join the team. He is unsponsored. His dream is to go to the Olympics, to be a quote-unquote professional athlete, have a contract, but he is making this happen without all of that support.
On your mark.
Keen to get going, keen to be in the top 7, keen to get a spot in tomorrow evening's semi-final in the men's 1500. This is the 3rd and final one, by the way. And Holt is keen to get to the front as he's pushing his way past Tafra.
Yeah, he was fighting for positioning there. He's a very, very powerful runner. And he just had an incredible race just a couple of weeks ago where he was closing down on 2022 world champion Jake Whiteman and ran a personal best. Now we see Hocker move to the front. Hocker is known for his blistering kick, so he doesn't necessarily need to lead any of this as long as he's in contention. He's very, very tough to beat over the final 100 meters.
Sam Ellis was leading. Now he's just tucked in behind Eric Holt there, right on the rail. There's Porter and Bonds there and there, but look at Cole Hocker. He's not going to get tangled up in anything. You often hear the athletes will say after a heat or a semi, you know, I shouldn't have been back there, or I shouldn't have been in that position to tangle our spikes or whatever. So Cole Hocker has taken care of that straight away.
I've been so impressed by Cole Hocker this year. He went to the World Indoor Championships and got a silver medal. We thought he'd be thrilled, and he was actually a little bit disappointed. And he has run other events this year, PRing in the 800 meters, running under 13 minutes in the 5,000. He has set himself up to be an Olympian for the second time, but to be an even stronger and better Olympian. This heat is a little bit faster. As we can see, look at how this is stretched out, about a second and a half faster through that first quarter.
What do you like about Eric Holt's race thus far? He's not letting Hocker get away. He's almost using Hocker as the pacer.
I like that he's just going for it. He's running clean on that rail, so every time they go around a bend, he's not running any extra steps. You know, he needs to believe. He needs to believe I'm as good as these guys. And that's what he's doing right now. He's positioning himself and saying, I'm just as good as anyone in this race. I don't care the accolades that Cole Hocker has. I deserve to run with him.
And here comes Benjamin Allen, third athlete in shot, all in black behind Eric Holt. He's keeping himself in the mix. There he is, the runner from Minnesota.
And again, this is significantly faster than that first heat. Now we see Sam Prakel move his way up, fourth at the U.S. Championships last year, third at the inaugural World Road Running Championships, third place at the. He's just had an amazing career, but always sort of missed out on these track teams. And he realized, I need to get up there. This is a quick pace. And he's decided to go up, move in front of Holt, and sit behind Hocker.
Sam Prakel now married his longtime partner, Katie, late last year. And here we go, into the final lap.
And now in third is Luke Hauser. He just graduated from the University of Washington, was a two-time indoor NCAA mile champion. He wants to make sure he's through to that semi as well.
Idaho's Nathan Green has put himself in the mix. Blue singlet top. He's right there. Right alongside Luke Hauser. Top 7 go in. Look at Eric Holt fighting. He knows that you've got to be in that top 7 to go straight through to the semi and not rely on time.
He is pushing himself up. He knows he can't let this pack get away from him. He needs to hang on right now, protect his position. He's doing a great job of that.
And there's a clear break. There are two groups, two distinct groups, and Holt's on the back of this lead pack of 5. Into the home stretch now. Everybody looking around, everybody positioning. And Cole Hocker is just putting it beyond doubt and will ease the pace back. He knows he's got this one. The Tokyo Olympian wins the third and final heat of the men's 1500 quite easily.
That was a fast run out of Cole Hocker, showing his fitness and the ease in which he did that. He is ready at the right time.
The 23-year-old from Indy, #1 qualifier from that, as we take a look at Eric Holt on the way home.
You know, Eric Holt ran this very, very well. He made sure he was up front, and we see him now powering in. He wants to make sure he doesn't get passed by anyone. He sees how many people are in front of him. See him moving out into lane 2 to protect his position. He ran this very, very well. He knows that he's securely through. And it's just a great race out of him. And we'll get to see him again in the semifinals.
Cole Hocker there just checking exactly how close Sam Prakel was. And in the end, it wasn't that close. Luke Hauser was there in the mix, Nathan Green, and then Eric Holt. And then it was Porter and Meyer get those other positions, and you can see them in the background. Wes Porter, congratulations, really good effort. As we join Lewis Johnson.
Lee, thanks very much. So our Kara Goucher was talking about the journey you've been on with injuries and disappointments, but she mentioned that you're healthy now. Do you think this is your year, this is your time?
Absolutely, yeah, as much as any year. And I know I've done it before in 2021, and I feel like I'm just a completely next level athlete compared to that college runner who was just fresh on the scene.
All right, we'll see you in the semifinal on Saturday.
Absolutely, thank you.
Lee?